everybody. This is Beth Worsdell, author. This is a Witty Writers Show. And I've got Leanna Dunk here with me. Woo!
Hi. Hello, everyone. I made it.
Yay! From Slam Dunks Luscious reads. I am so sorry, Leanna, about this morning.
It's all good. It's all good. You did not want to see me at 6 a.m. this morning, that's for sure. I would turn everybody off the internet for life.
Oh, my God. So
one eye open, one eye closed.
So apologies to everyone, including Leanna, because I literally completely cocked up my time today, to say the least.
Good.
Poor Leanna was still in bed as I'm going, yeah, we're going live.
Oh, yeah. I'm just like looking at my phone with one eye open, one eye closed, and I'm going, hang on a minute, what day is this? What week are we in? No, that can't be right.
Oh, good. My God. Well, Josephine's just joined us from England.
Hi, Josephine.
She says, hello, lovelies. Hello, my darling. Thank you so much for giving us another go. I've actually put my two golden doodles outside. So they're both in the neighbour's dog right now.
Yeah, Hubble's waiting for Kazai to come back. Yeah, he's waiting for Kazai to come back from taking Jazz to the bus stop for me. He was not amused that he got left behind.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh!
He thinks he's human.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad that we finally got to actually do this today, and I'm super excited. For everybody who's joining us, if you didn't see my quick little video earlier this morning, we're going to be talking about love, romance, all the shenanigans in between, about our favorite book crushes, male and female. And we're going to have some fun because we've both picked some characters from our favorite books, some of which we have crushes on.
Oh, yes. Major book boyfriend material.
Exactly. So it could get a little bit hot later on when we discuss some rather raunchier books.
Oh, yeah. They're the best kind.
Exactly.
If you've got blood pressure problems, ladies, gents, I'd suggest taking a tablet now.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Josephine says, again, gimme, LOL. Romance is just my all-time favorite.
Isn't she awesome? I freaking love that woman. She's so good.
She is fabulous.
Yeah, she is.
I'll tell you, one of the best benefits, actually, of publishing books and actually being in the book community and as a whole, it's been how many amazing people I've met. Do you feel the same way?
Oh, absolutely. I have, it's blown me away. Like, I've had my book blog now for 3-4 years, and the amount of people that I've met that I never would have met if I didn't have the book blog and gone to book signings, it's unbelievable. And I've made so many lifelong friendships. And thank God they're all as weird as me, so we all get along really well. Which is good. But yeah, it blows me away. It really does blow me away. And the fact that we can, even though we read different books, we read different genres of books, we can still come together and talk about those books without, getting into arguments. And unless you try and take my book boyfriend, then it's on for young and old, we'll be knuckling up in the front yard. My book boyfriends are my book boyfriends.
Oh my God. I absolutely love you. I really, really do. I really do. I'm just going to quickly share. I hope. Can you still see me?
Yeah.
Because I'm multitasking right now.
No worries.
I am just going to quickly share our live stream everywhere. Excuse me. I did try and do it earlier, but with everything else I was trying to do, it wasn't working out too good. I've got to tell you.
No worries.
Right, okay, there we go. I can see.
I'm lucky even was able to sign on this morning.
I'll tell you, it's manic. Oh, there we go. I can see it. Right, okay. Right, let me just quickly share that. Hopefully we've gone everywhere. I'm not sure whether I can share on your Slam Dunks Luscious Reads page. I'm going to see if I can try.
If you can't, I'll do it after this.
Okay.
Because if I get out of this, I may not be able to get back in. I'm not touching technology.
I know, right? Okay, it's asked me questions. Okay, share to a page. Oh, there we go.
There we go. Cool.
No, you're not on there.
No.
It's not showing. It's probably because it's not my page.
Oh, okay. I can do it later.
Never mind. Just bear with me 1 second, because I've just realised my tissues are missing, and I can't. Hang on. Bear with me.
You're right.
Oh my gosh. Oh, there we go. I'm back. So the plan is to talk about, excuse me, all things romance. And we've got a little planned quiz for everybody, haven't we, Leanna?
Yes, we do. Yeah.
We're going to be talking book boyfriends, book girlfriends, and everything in between. The quiz is going to be guess the character. So it could be literally a character from a contemporary romance. It could be a more classic romance. It could be, more raunchier domination romance. You never know what's going to come. And
that's it.
The winner is going to win. Look how pretty this is. Look.
Oh, that is gorgeous.
Isn't that cute? Look, it's got.
Oh, that is gorgeous.
Where's my camera? There we go. Let me see if I can zoom in. Look,
yeah, that's beautiful.
This is actually.
But also, sorry to interrupt. Josephine has kindly donated 2 ebooks to our winners as well.
Oh, fantastic! Thank you so much, Josephine. Yeah. You are so awesome. Well, this beautiful handmade bookmark is in celebration of the anthology that we've just released.
Kaleidoscope.
Yeah, Kaleidoscope Heart. I'm sure most people have seen it, and the picture as well. There we go. I'm trying to do in the middle. It's always the opposite to where you think it's going to be. But there we go. It's absolutely beautiful. So Kaleidoscope
technology.
I know.
Hang on. I'm losing myself. Oh, mate.
I'll tell
you're gonna get a good look at my boobs in a minute. Fair income. Hang on. There we go.
Complaining.
There we go.
But one of the winners for today's quiz will get to win this, as I said, in celebration of the Kaleidoscope Hearts anthology, which is 13 love stories all in one book, which is free to download on all the major ebook platforms. So make sure you grab your copy.
Exactly.
My story's the last one. I got to tell you, Leanna, I was so bloody nervous writing my first ever love story.
Oh, really?
I was, because where I'm used to writing sci-fi fantasy, don't get me wrong, there are quite steamy, hot sex scenes in my book, which is with the young adult editions as well. So it's naughty or clean. But actually trying to do a short love story in like 10,000 words. Off.
See, I can do the short stories. I've never actually, well, not yet anyway, in the process of writing a longer story, but I can do the short stories, no dramas at all whatsoever. I like to get to that end, and there will always be a happily ever after at the end of my stories. But I'm taking the leap and trying to do a full length novel if I can. But like I was telling you the other day, I deleted 2 chapters the other day because I was reading them and I was like, Jazz must have written this, because this is crap. Not that I'm saying that Jazz writing is crap, but it was not applicable to what I was writing. I went way off on a different tangent, and I was like, I'm going to get laughed out of the book community if I was to publish that. delete.
Do you know what? That's the hardest thing as a writer, is being really strict with yourself.
Definitely. And we are our own worst enemies, aren't we? I mean, we put so much pressure on ourselves. We don't need to be judged by anybody else, because we're doing a good job of that ourselves. Yeah,
you know, I don't know whether you saw, but I shared a funny post the other day, and it said something along the lines: if you ever have a moment of self-doubt, just remember that somebody paid and produced Sharknado.
I did see that. I did, and I cracked up laughing at that, because look at that movie, how popular it is. It is so stupid, but yet so popular.
There's like 4 or 5 of them now. I'm like,
Jazz has asked me if she can watch them, because she's right into sharks at the moment, and I sort of reneged a bit and let her watch Meg, the Megalodon movie with Jason Statham in it. And I was like, oh, I'll see how we go. Well, she's now obsessed. She's obsessed. And I was like, yeah, no, that wasn't a good thing.
Anything with Jason Statham in is going to be good.
He's not too dusty, that fella.
We've got some more people joining us. We've got Lisa. Hello, Lisa.
Hi, Lisa.
We've also, Josephine says she's shared too.
Thank you, Josephine.
You're
a doll.
Oh, she is. She is. We've also got Rena, who's just joined us.
Hi, Rena.
Hi, ladies. Hello, darling.
Hi, Rena.
Thank you for joining us. And she said that's so beautiful with regards to the bookmark. There we go.
It's gorgeous, isn't it? Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm so thrilled that Josephine's given away a couple of ebooks as well. She's such a she is. Her books are quite steamy as well, I've got to tell you.
Yeah.
Josephine says, I can't do the shorts. I write like I talk. With loads of words.
Yeah.
Yeah, but none of us are complaining.
No.
Gina's
Hi, Gina.
Hello, darling. Thank you very, very much. Now, I have to say, I'm a bit like you, Leanna. I do like to read, a wide variety of genres. And I think I do enjoy most genres that do have elements of romance in there, of all levels. I've got to be honest with you. And I started reading the horror books. That's how I really got into reading, was reading James Herbert, Stephen King. And my God, they have some saucy bits in there, I can tell you. And some really good relationship dynamics as well. When did you first start getting into romance yourself?
So I read Hollywood Wives by Jackie Collins when I was 13. And my mum was like, I don't think that's for you. Now, we lived in a sheep and cattle station in Armidale, New South Wales. We had TV, but the only channel we could get was ABC. We couldn't get any other channels. So all we had to do was read or watch videos. I would prefer to read. And I picked up, I said, I'm not going to understand what's going on anyway. Just let me read it. Anyway, 2 weeks later, it took me 2 weeks because I had a learning disability trying to, with reading and writing. And I was blown away, absolutely blown away. And I think I devoured everything she ever wrote thereafter. Every time we went into town every 2 weeks to do our grocery shopping and things like that and hit up the DVD store, I would go straight to the library and say, pick me up there. And I'd come out with, bags of books. And I'd get so cranky because, someone had the Jackie Collins book that I was after and I was out for blood. And I'd have to wait another 2 weeks before I'd be able to come back into town to see if they had the book back. I was about 13 and it was Hollywood Wives and it just blew me away. I didn't know that people lived like that. I didn't know people could be like that. It was totally different ball game to what I knew. And, being a country girl, 13, you don't know nothing except your surroundings. And it was the book that sent me over the edge. I wanted a happily ever after like everybody else,
That's so cute. I've got to be honest, right? I've got to tell you, because you said you was about 13, I'm going to tell you all a funny story now, and it's so funny, right? So my mum remarried when I was 11 and moved us up to Manchester from where we lived in Plymouth. And I was devastated because I had a little boyfriend. We say boyfriend. It's just a friend that age, you know, there's nothing going on in friendship. So I had this little boyfriend and we were both devastated. I mean, we were basically best friends, devastated that I was moving away. So when we moved, obviously there wasn't Skype and social media and all that sort of stuff. So we used to write to each other like little letters. How are you? How are you? Miss you. Yeah, miss you. And he was a couple of years older than myself.
So we used to like that.
we used to write each other all the time. And then and it was lovely. And then on one occasion, I got this letter from him, and I couldn't understand a bloody word of what he was saying. It just straight over my head. I had no clue what he was on about. I'm laughing just thinking about it. Like, when I come up to visit, I want to, what was it? I want to eat you. What? And that his favorite number was 69 and all this sort of stuff. And I'm like, right. Bearing in mind, he was already in adolescence, right? I'm 13. I ain't got a freaking clue what he's on about, right? So I'm rereading this letter from him, thinking, what the hell is he talking about? Dad, can you yeah, you know what? You all know what's coming, don't you? So,
oh my God.
So, and my dad's quite protective. So, Dad, so-and-so, I'm not going to reveal any names, so-and-so sent me this letter, but I have no clue what he's talking about. Can you fathom what he's on about? So my dad starts reading this letter and he hits the words like eat you, and my 69, his face was like oh my God, I don't laugh. Oh my God.
Wow. So how did that end?
His face was like thunder. And he just calmly looked at me and he went, darling. I went, yes, Dad. Get a pen and paper. Okay, Dad. Right, I could tell his mood was gone. So I went and got pen and paper. Oh, she got.
Oh, are you there?
Oh, yeah, we had a little glitch. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
So I went off and got the pen and paper, came back, and he said, right, write this down. So I'm there, it's waiting, and all I remember is he said, dear dickhead. That's all I remember.
Oh my God.
Honestly, Leanna, I cannot remember for the life of me what else he got me to write, but it was scathing.
That was hilarious.
I remember, well, 2 weeks later or 3 weeks later, I got this apology letter.
Bless.
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to say those things.
Oh, wow.
Hence to say our relationship fizzled out after that.
I could imagine it would. Yeah.
Oh, God.
Oh, that is so funny.
It was hilarious. I've got to tell you. Of course, now I look back and I think, God, if a kid sent my daughter something like that.
Oh, yeah. I would be knuckling up in the front yard if someone sent my kid that. Yeah.
Oh my God. I'm trying not to laugh because my face still hurts. As some of you already know, I had a big molar that had to be pulled out on last Saturday.
Oh no.
And unfortunately, I got really funky roots, so it took a lot to get it out, and I still feel like I've been smacked by Mike Tyson.
Oh dear.
Oh my God. Right, so let's talk books. Now there's two things that I touched on earlier when I did a little tester. And that was two books that made a massive impact in the book world and film world for romance. First was Twilight.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God. I mean, that just burst on the scene. And then we had a you team Edward, a you team Jacob. Anybody who's watching you, if you're into Twilight, you'll have to let us know who is your favorite book boyfriend. But I mean, that just exploded on the scene, didn't it?
It did. It really did. And to be honest, I haven't read those books yet. I know. Don't kill me. Because my daughter, she's got the books and she's read them, and she's been trying to get me to watch the movies, and I've watched some of the movies, here and there. And Jazz, one night, they were actually on TV, and she came out of her room to get a drink of water, and she come past. It was right at the part where Jacob was turning into the wolf, and you could see her walk past and then backtrack, and she goes, "Ooh, he's tasty." Because Mom, that's all your fault. She's too impressionable. I can't believe she just said that. Go to your room. Oh my God, it was on film. Oh, far out. So I admit I have not read the books, and I've only seen bits and pieces of the movie. But after today, no doubt, I'm going to get daggers from this one over here, and I'll be watching the 3 movies.
I couldn't put them down. I was hooked because I'm for the supernatural. And the whole love triangle that was going on between Bella, the main character, and Edward and Jacob. When they first came out, I was hooked. I've read them. In fact, I've reread them a few times as well.
Oh, okay. I've actually just probably the last 12 months gotten into reading shifter books like wolves and vampires and all that sort of thing, and I'm loving them. I'm absolutely loving them. There's a series by Patricia A. Racy, and it's called The Sons of Sangay, and it's about vampire bikers. And I'm like, oh my God, like right up my alley. And they were amazing, absolutely amazing. And I'm a bit behind. I'm a lot behind on a lot of books. But yeah, vampire bikers, mate, all the way, definitely. Oh, really good.
I love that.
Yeah.
One of my favourite authors, and I don't know whether anybody's, you'll have to let us know, everybody who's watching, whether you've read these books that we're mentioning, because we'd love some feedback and join in, ask questions and whatever. One of my favourite authors is actually an indie author, and she's called Quinn Loftus. And I can't remember how I found her books, actually. I think I was on iBooks.
Yeah.
I think it was on a free promotion or something. For her first book. I thought I'll give that a go. My God, that was it. I got hooked. She does all the wolf shifters and the Romanian packs and all that sort of stuff. I think what I love the most about Quinn Loftus books is the humor dynamics between the characters, because they are funny as hell.
I love humor. I'm absolutely totally agree. If it's got humor in it, I'll read it.
Yeah, because the thing is, a lot of relationships, that the really good, positive relationships are built on not only love, but also the fact that they enjoy each other's company, they make each other laugh, and you've got that humorous element there.
That's right. And you can relate to characters who are like that, because in your everyday life, whatever partner you've got, there is always funny banter back and forth. Yeah. And to see that written in a way with the characters is so much more relatable to like a serious drama. So yeah, I'm definitely with you on that.
Do you know, it's funny because I put quite a bit of humor in my books, in my sci-fi trilogy, and the 3 things that I get the most messages about is the fact that my main character's husband farts when he gets out of bed. So I put that in. Let's face it, that's real life, isn't it? Don't get me wrong. It is. These little things.
I've got a partner who does that.
Right. So she messaged this lady. I've had a few actually, but one in particular, she messaged me and she said, "I cannot believe that you put in your book that James farts as he gets and I'm cracking myself laughing." She said, "I love it. It's so real life." And
exactly. It's everyday life. Exactly. Yeah.
Exactly right. Yeah. And there's another bit where one of my angels, because the alien angels in my books, basically they're able to like change the size of their genitalia to suit their partner. Yeah. And one of the angels actually does a demonstration during a girls' night with the human survivors. And she actually shows them, and I was laughing as I was
you were writing it. Yeah.
It's like a picture all in my head. Oh my
awesome.
God. It is crazy. Right, we need to find out what all your favourite crushes are, ladies and gentlemen. So let us know in the comments who your favourite book crush is. We've both got a nice little list of our book characters that we're going to do, which is going to be fun. So would you like, Leanna, to start describing your first book character, your book crush?
Okay. Well, I'm going to mix it up a little bit. So I have a list, and then I'm thinking, let's just mix it up. So okay, let me see. Oh God, I don't even know where to start.
While you're thinking, Gloria just joined us. She says, You ladies are great. Oh,
thanks, Gloria.
She's so
Thank
fabulous. And Josephine says she's too fickle. To choose. Oh, Jim, my nose is streaming today. I don't know why. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to just go off screen for a second. Just
You're right. All right. Well, I will start. Okay, so I've just recently started. Last year? I started a series by an author called Alania Alder, and the main character, the female main character, reminds me so much of my daughter Keziah. The sass is strong in that child, let me tell you. And in this character, the sass is strong in her as well. So she's human, and she goes off on a ride, car breaks down, and lo and behold, the person that comes to help her with the car turns out that she's his soulmate, his mate.
Oh,
he's a bear shifter.
Bear shifter.
He's a bear shifter. Now
I've never heard of that before. Normally it's like wolves or rats and stuff like that, but I've never heard of a bear shifter.
Yeah, he's a bear shifter. The funny thing is with this character though, is never been with a woman, never had a woman, because he was brought up to wait for his soulmate. She ends up knocking him out with the head of the toilet because he just kidnaps her. She has no idea about shifters, about paranormal, nothing. She has no clue. This bare barrel chested man picks up this tiny woman and takes her off. He goes to make her some lunch. He comes in the room and crack. She hits him right over the head with the toilet, knocks him out.
Oh my
now, if that ain't love, I don't know what is. Getting hit in the head with the toilet. So yeah, if anyone has read the Bewitched and Bewildered series by Alania Alder, the characters that I'm talking about are Aidan and Merrin, and it's a series, and I think it's going to go on for, so far there's like 12 books. I think 12 books in the series. Well, I think there's going to be 20.
Really? That's unusual. Such a long series.
Yeah, and the storyline keeps going in each book, but with different characters, but the same characters all still pop up in those books as well.
Oh, that's
so cool. Yeah, and it sort of like revolves around Merrin, because as it turns out, she's human, but it turns out that her heritage, whatever it is, way back, is in paranormal as well. But she was brought up by her grandmother, who was very abusive to her. So she has a lot of tendencies that sort of remind me of Keziah in a way because of ASD, and Merrin has those tendencies. So I can relate to her character and the sass. I just love the sass. But the series is unbelievable, and it was and I've started collecting the paperbacks. I think I've got 12 of them now. And I read, and they're hilarious. They're absolutely hilarious. Like, and these men don't know anything about periods. And Aidan wants her to have a baby, so she says, "Okay, we'll have a baby. Go and get some condoms, and we can have a baby." So he goes off. They put on their combat gear. They've got their knives. They've got their swords. They've got their guns. They go on off to this quickie mart looking for condoms so that they can have a baby. Like, they just these men have no clue. So then she gets her period. She gets her period, and she says that, I'm bleeding internally, and so they're running around like thinking that she's going to die.
Oh God!
And yeah. What do we do? So back to the quickie mart that they go, and there's a man who works there, and he says, "You don't know much about women, do you?" And he says, "I don't know anything about my woman." He said, "Look, trust me. Throw chocolate at her and shut the door, and you'll be right." So they buy chocolate cake, chocolates, chips, you name it, and they go back home, throw all these chocolate at her, slam the door, and just wait for her to get over it. It is hilarious. It is really funny. I highly recommend it to everybody. It's a very, very funny.
Definitely. And if any of you viewers can figure out who the character is that Leanna's mentioning, then put it in the comments, because that could, if you get it right, that could be one entry into
definitely.
That's fantastic. Okay, right. My book crush character. Okay, oh my gosh, how do I know how to describe it? Okay, so mine is from a fantasy book series, very thick books that I could not put down. And the books actually, not everybody could handle the books, because 1 minute one chapter is about one character, next minute another chapter is about from another character's perspective.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And jumps from character to character to character. But I absolutely loved that, because you just couldn't get bored. I mean, it was just amazing. Some of it's about royalty. There's a big paranormal influence there, and my character is one of the sons of some main characters, who is strong, loyal, big fighter, good looking, bonds with a dire wolf, which is a bit of a giveaway. I'm sure people are like, I know what it is. I
have no clue.
He spends a lot of time on a wall. That's another huge clue. Yes, and wears furs. He gets thrown into all the supernatural stuff, and I'll give you another clue about the series that he's in. It could be another 10 years before the last book is released, because it's taken the author that long.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
So if you're a fan of this author, then you'll understand what I mean, because we're just dying of suspense right now, waiting for the next book to come out. But the character is he's, as I said, he's strong. He's the older sibling. He ends up going into battle. Oh my gosh! I mean, I could just go on and on and on. But the series has actually become a very popular TV series as well, and people brag about. Am I the only one who hasn't watched it? There we go. So that's
what I'm thinking.
It's a clue. The wolf is a big clue. Like he bonds with a dire wolf. Being on a wall is another big clue. The fact that he's strong and brave.
I need to start watching TV. I really do, because I have no idea who you're talking about.
I've got to tell you, we're not getting many people saying, I know who it is. So you need to get your thinking caps on, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay.
Yes, he's a big one.
The only thing I can think of is The Witcher, but he's not a wolf.
No, nothing to do with The Witcher. Although I do like Henry Cavill.
Oh,
I've got to tell you, if he moved into my street, my husband would be having his bags packed. See you later.
Because I fight over him all the time. She says, Mum, you've got Al. And I said, yes, I know I've got Al cards. It's Henry. I'm sure Al wouldn't mind. She goes, I'm sure he would mind. And besides, you're too old. And I was like, I'm only 49 in April. She said, yeah, but Henry's, I think he's like 38 or something or other. And I said, hey, look, I never was into being a cougar, but I would do it for him.
You me both.
Yeah. I reckon, what do you think? Do you think he would make an awesome James Bond?
I really do think he would. He's just.
I totally agree.
He's just got that look, hasn't he? And that swagger, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I think I'd watch any.
He looked good in a suit.
Have you watched that Enola Holmes?
I did. I loved it. Absolutely loved it.
That's why I think he would make a good James Bond, because you know. So serious like that. He's also and he did that Man from U.N.C.L.E. as well movie.
Yes, I enjoyed that as well.
I think he's a good James Bond. Josephine says, hang on, she says, I have an idea about the series, but can only think of one of the names. Okay, well you get. I'll give you a point if you can name the series. There we go. Oh my God, he's just.
He is divine.
But I've got to say, in my defense, I think if Cameron Diaz moved into our street, I think my husband would have my bags packed. And I'll out the door. So in my defense, I'm not the only one.
Yeah. She's a great actress. I quite like her as an actress. Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. I love the fact that she's in a lot of humorous stuff.
Yeah.
And I've got plans to write a book called Domestic Goddess to Dominatrix.
I'll read that. That's right up my alley.
I'm hoping it's going to be just as funny as Bridget Jones's Diary, if not funnier, because she literally goes from, like, you know, housewife feeling completely lost and downtrodden by her ex-husband who's a tosser, and she finds her way into the domination scene and discovers that she can make shitloads of money out of it and have, you know, and find her girl power.
That's all right.
But oh my God, there's going to be so much funny stuff in there. You're going to be like, I'm crying with laughter. So I'm looking forward to that.
Definitely. That's right up my alley.
Josephine, look, she said,
Game of Thrones
was, what jumped out was Jon Snow. Spot on.
Oh, well, there you go.
Thank you. She is a winner. She says, but wasn't he the oldest sibling? Did I say yes? Did I?
Yeah, he was the older sibling. Yeah, Jon Snow was the older sibling. I think they had the same dad, different mum.
Okay, in my head, I was saying eldest. What actually came out of my mouth must have been youngest.
All good. It happens.
Well done, you, Josephine. Well done, you. Yes,
good job.
It was Jon Snow. And I've got to say, the TV character, oh my gosh, they did good. They really did good.
I haven't read the books. I did watch up to season 4, I think, or 5. And then I've been waiting for it to come back on our, Stan or Netflix or whatever the hell it's on, so I can watch the rest of it. So but I did enjoy what I saw.
You need to read the books because there's a lot of really, really naughty stuff that they don't show on the TV. That is.
Okay. Yep.
I can't.
That's the thing. I don't. I know that they can't show a lot of stuff. I mean, when you're making a book into a movie or a book into a series, I understand there's not a lot that they can put in because of sex scenes and whatever. But some of the pivotal moments, to the storyline, they don't put in the books and or in the movies, I mean. And you got to watch the director's cut, or the bloopers at the end of it, or something like that, the deleted scenes, to be able to get the gist of it. And it's disappointing, I think. I think if you're going to make a book into a movie, you have to have the pivotal moments.
I don't know whether they do it or not, but you would think that a movie company that's thinking of doing a movie version of books would reach out to some readers first and say, what are your best bits? What are the key pivotal moments that you would like to see live? Because if they did that, they'd probably get completely different answers to maybe some of them they were thinking of.
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely. Totally agree.
Harry Potter. I mean, I read all the Harry Potter books to my kids and became a massive fan. I absolutely love the Harry Potter series. But there were some really epic bits in the books that I absolutely loved that just weren't in the movies. And I was devastated. And have you read Harry Potter books?
No, I haven't. That sort of... when they all first came out, it wasn't something I was into at the time. Like I said, it's only just been the last probably 12 to 18 months I started getting into the paranormal books and things like that. So, and to be honest, I've only seen maybe 1 or 2 movies, and that's only because the kids were watching it. And it's not something that holds my interest. Yeah. So, but the kids love them,
Oh, they absolutely do. Okay, so Josephine says, eye-popping naughty. I like eye-popping naughty. So funny. Okay, give us your next book character, Leanna.
Okay, so I will start with a quote. Maybe you might know this quote. Where are we?
Okay.
We aim to please.
We aim to please.
Mm-hmm. Another quote is, I do believe you're making my palm twitch.
Ew, I know. I can't say it because I'm boosting. Oh, can I give a clue? Can I give a clue?
You can give a clue.
Was that not the biggest eye roll you've ever seen? I will do it again just for effect.
Roll them all the way to the back of your head, baby.
It was that easy. Any clue? Oh, has anyone got any idea who we're talking about? Oh, twitching palms. Oh.
Yep.
What I've got to tell you, I could not put those books down.
Same. I think I read them at least 30 times. At least.
And I got to tell you, because my mum tried to read them, and my mum reads all sorts as well. And she just could not get into it at all. But I actually loved the fact. I mean, I love the fact that they were a bit hot and a bit naughty. I love that. But I also loved finding out why the main character was the way
he was. And a lot of people get so stuck on the sex part of it. They don't see the story behind it and why he is the way he is. Yeah.
Yeah, I was blown away by that. And I got to tell you, I must admit, do you know who I would have preferred as the main character in the movies?
Yeah.
What's he called? The guy who does White Collar.
Oh, Matt something. Matt
Boomer.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I know he's gay. I don't care. He would have made a perfect character because he's got that dark, sultry look, piercing eyes.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So, any guesses? So, give us the clues again, Leanna.
Okay. I do believe you're making my palm twitch. We aim to please. And I didn't want more until I met you.
Oh, I think. Do you know what? I think somebody is on it today.
Oh, okay.
Because Josephine says not read them all, but love and has pride of place on her shelf. LOL. 50 Shades, Mr. Grey.
Yes,
I'll tell you, everybody else needs to step up their game. You need to get those answers in. Look, even if you think you're wrong, just comment and see.
Comment. Yeah. I actually even have my partner bought me a the Build-A-Bear workshops. Have you seen those?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I have my very own Build-A-Bear 50 Shades of Grey Christian Grey bear. But for the life of me, could not find a grey tie anywhere. So my bear's wearing a red tie. But he does have the handcuffs and he does have the whip.
I love it.
He's on my bookshelf with my 50 Shades of Grey books.
If I'd have known that, I would have got you to have him ready. I want to see him next time we do
definitely. Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
his mascot, like right there.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, no worries. And I even have a light box. And I love Christian. What have I got rid of? Yeah, I love Christian Grey. And so I turn it on at night. So my whole one shelf just lights up with everything 50 Shades of Grey on that shelf every night. So yeah.
I honestly, that is brilliant. I got to tell you, I couldn't put them down. I really couldn't.
Yeah.
I finished one, wanted to read the next one and the next one and the next one. And I did feel that they were just getting better and better and better. And I think a lot of that is because you find out more and more about.
That's right. Yeah, he unravels with each book. His layers just kept unraveling, and you got to see the little boy. By the end of the series, you got to see the little boy grow to become the man that he became. Yeah, and you finally understand why he became the way that he was. And a lot of people just can't seem to get past the BDSM side of things, and it's just all about sex and rah. But I'm just like, just read the story. Don't worry about the sex scenes. Just read the story. It's a beautiful love story.
It is. I got to tell you though, I honestly think, I mean, if you're reading a romance, you want a real relationship. And I'm not being funny, but if you are really attracted to each other, you're going to be at it like rabbits when
That's right. You're going to be on fire. Yeah.
Of course you are. I mean, I was like at 18 and 19. Do you know what I mean? We went to work. So for me, that was just realistic. The fact that there was so much passion and sex between them. Yeah. It was such a passionate relationship. They had so much chemistry and so much attraction. For me, it was just logical. I also loved the fact that there was a complete power switch. So to start off with, it was him at the beginning who held all the power over her.
That's right.
And I'm not just talking physically, I mean emotionally. Because she was so naive.
That's right.
But by the third book, he was the one with all the power.
That's right. Exactly. Yeah. And the thing is, if you notice all the way through the books, she never changed who she was. She always stayed the same. And that's what he fell in love with. He fell in love with her naivety. He fell in love with her beauty. He fell in love with, her being who she was. And she didn't change at all throughout the whole series. She became more confident. Yeah. There was no doubt about that. She found her confidence. But she didn't change who she was to suit him and to make him happy, even though he tried so hard. Especially like in the beginning and the beginning of the second book as well. But he changed. He because of her love and her patience and kindness and her heart, he changed who he was and realized that he was not who he thought he was. And if you can just get past, that's what I mean, if you can just get past the BDSM side of things, because it's all about his control, you will find that the love story there, I mean, everyone wants a love story like that. Yeah. So, and I think that's why I'm attracted to it so much, because I want a love story like that, I think everybody wants a love story like that. We all want a happily ever after in the end. And and that's why with my books, there will never be a cliffhanger, because I hate cliffhangers, and there will always be a happily ever after.
I can't say the same, because my books, my trilogy, the first two are left on major cliffhangers.
You're killing me, woman. You're killing me.
Yeah, I've got all three books out, so everybody can go from like one to the next to the next.
Yeah.
So they can literally just continue the story
on.
Yeah. And that's the thing. I want people to be like, oh my God, I can't wait for the next one.
That's what I was like at the end of 50 Shades of Grey, the way it ended, the first book. And thank God my sister sent me the whole books. And because she tried so hard to get me to read the books, I'm like, oh, for the love of God, fine, because she threatened, bodily violence. So I read it, and the kids come home from school 7 o'clock at night, and they said, Mum, what's for dinner? And I went, here's my card, go and order a pizza, don't talk to me. And the way it ended, I was like, no, 2 o'clock in the morning, yelling out, they can't end like that. God, where's the other book? Quick. And I got stuck into the other book straight away. Cliffhangers and me, we don't mix. I need that. I need that happily ever after.
What that continuation? Oh my God, so funny. Josephine says, I love a cliffhanger as long as there's not too much waiting time.
And it's like if your books, your books are all out and you can go straight to the next book and read. And that's actually, there's a series that I'm waiting on at the moment from Jamie Begley called the Last Rider series, and it's a brilliant MC series. But this main character ended up with 3 books of his own, because he just with things that went down. The first 2 books are out. The third book was supposed to come out on Sunday, and I just found out today that it's going to be delayed. And I'm like,
oh no.
And I'm like, and it's through no fault of her own, the author. It's through no fault of her own. I want to put that out there straight away. It's no fault of her own. But I'm dying to start this series. But I've been caught before where I've read a series, it's ended on a cliffhanger, and then the author's decided, oh, you know what, I don't want to write anymore. And that's the end of that. And I feel as a reader, you put so much, not only money into buying books from these authors, but the time, the emotional upheaval, because you feel what the characters feel, and then they decide that they don't want to write that series anymore, or they don't want to be an author anymore, and in the meantime you're left hanging. So I refuse now to read a book if I know it's going to end on a cliffhanger. I will wait until the series is out, or nearly completely out, before I'll start reading, because I've been stuck so many times. And as a reader, you know, especially me, I'm on a book budget, which I blow all the time. But it's difficult, you know. So it's frustrating.
It is. I mean, I've read the Game of Thrones series, and everyone's still waiting for the final book, and it's been so long. Long.
How long has it been?
Oh, God, we're talking years, aren't we? I honestly don't know. Honestly don't know, but it's just driving me insane. But I must admit, when I get messages saying, I've just read your book one, and oh my God, it's brilliant. And I say to them, you know, I'll reply and go, you might want to order the next one now.
If I know that there's, you know, because I love reading book series. I love how in some the story goes on, continues on.
Yeah.
And even though there's different sets of characters for each book, which is great. I love that as well. But the storyline is, if it's consistent, it keeps you intrigued. And if there happens to be a cliffhanger and you've only got to wait, you know, maybe a month or two, then okay, fine, whatever.
Yeah.
Having to wait years, I don't know how you do it. I'd be off my nut by now.
Leanna, it's been so freaking long. I can't even remember half of what happened in the first 3 books. So
I
would have to literally reread all of them.
Yes.
In time for the next book coming out. It's like I tell you,
it is. I've had to do that too. Like especially with Sylvia Day's Crossfire series. There's 4 or 5 books now. I haven't read the last 2 because we had to wait so long for the next. I just got bored, you know, and then I forgot half of the storyline. So and to this day I still haven't read the last 2 books because I just got bored waiting. So you know, it is what it is.
I got to say, I as you know, Leanna, I literally broke 2 ankles, like both of my ankles, in a year. While
how much bad luck is that? Like seriously,
it's ridiculous. My husband's threatening to literally cover me in bubble wrap. I was writing my 3rd in the trilogy, Destination Unknown, at the time. And my husband and friends are like, normal people would just forget about your book. And I'm like, no, I've got to get it out. I've got to get it out. People are waiting. And I was so determined, even after breaking the 2 ankles, that I was going to get it out in less than a year so people could read the big finale. And I'm so glad I did that, because as you said, when you're waiting so long, it's just painful. It is.
Especially when, as a reader, you're emotionally invested in that story, in those characters, in the words, you know, and it's the words that you're emotionally invested in, you know. So there's no doubt about it. If it is a good book and it is the words that attract you to that story, having to wait is torture. It really is.
It is. It is. Josephine says, I have 2 in my series out and I'm 13,000 words into the 3rd. I'd be better on if I'd have been better. Bless her, she's not been well. No, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't change nor stop until the end. I totally agree. I've waited over a year for a series which isn't going to be finished, as they stopped writing erotica and more thrillers now. It's awful, isn't it? Now, I am a big fan of Stephanie Meyer's, and I loved her book, The Host. Loved it. I thought it was fantastic. And she, you know, it's on Goodreads that she was going to do The Seeker and The Soul, which is like book 2 and book 3. And in between times, she's like popped out 2 or 3 other books related to Twilight, even though the Twilight series is finished. Again, for me, that
it hurts. It is. It's very frustrating. And But then at the same time, I don't know how some authors can pop a book out like every couple of months. Like it would be emotionally draining to be able to get say 8 or 9 books out in a year. And more power to you, because I'll read, if I like it, I'll read the crap out of it. But I often wonder about authors and their mentality and their their emotional side of things, because it would be draining to produce books like that, in so many books in a year. Yeah. So you can't please a reader. That's all I'm saying. I don't like cliffhangers. I don't like having to wait, and I don't like the fact that my favourite authors are producing books and I'm worrying about their mental health.
I think a lot of it depends on how much research and stuff you have to do for a book.
That's true. Yeah.
For my book too, that took me quite a while, because I had to do so much research. I had to research about Stonehenge and how I'm going to activate it in your imagination and stuff, and how many stones are in, and what colours and what shapes and all that sort of stuff. So I think it does depend on the genre and the amount of research that has to do. If it's pure fantasy and they don't have, and they can literally just use their imagination, having to do all that research for it. So it does vary.
I've been very lucky, because one of my daughter's caseworkers knows how to use guns, and there was a thing between her and her dad, and it was a he wanted to do a bonding thing, and he was quite prepared to go and get pedicures with her and go shopping for clothes. He was prepared to do that, and then when she said, I want to learn how to shoot a gun, he was like, he could have kissed her feet. And so they go to a gun range, and so I've been very lucky, because she's been giving me all the information, everything that I need in regards to guns and how to use them and what kind of guns there are, and ammunition and all that sort of thing. So I'm like, I'm going to call your boss. You need a raise.
That's fantastic. I love it. Well, I'm going to give you who did a book character last? Was it me or you?
It's your turn. It's your turn.
Okay. I've done Mr. Jon Snow. Okay. I don't know who's going to get this, but this is another fantasy character. I can't remember who bloody wrote it. I'm afraid I thought I'd written it down, but I haven't. Okay, so this character, the book has actually been made into a movie as well. The character in the movie is a black guy, very popular, very handsome, very tall, dark, handsome, and black. He's delicious. Now, this character, he's a gunslinger. It's quite a magical sci-fi, going from the human world to a completely another dimension. He's a gunslinger, so he uses like an old-fashioned gun. He shoots he shoots with his heart and not his brain, I think, is another good clue.
Is the movie sort of like a paranormal?
Oh yeah. I'll give you another clue. The movie has got Matthew McConaughey in.
Tower. The Dark Tower?
Yeah.
The Dark Tower? Yeah.
Okay, so the character is Ronald Deshane, and he's one of my favorite characters. Because I've read the book and I've watched the movie, and he's such a complex character. I mean, he's still dealing with the grief of losing his father. Until he meets the young boy, he's almost like given up trying to fight the evil, which is, I can't remember what Matthew McConaughey's character name is. It's gone. He's evil and nasty and kills kids to gain power to take over. But I can't remember.
You know what? I have even when I was writing out the list of what my questions and answers for this, I said to Keziah, I said, oh, my God, I just had a brain fart. What's her name? And I only just read the book 2 days ago. And she just looks at me and she says, for the love of God, Mum, you know, and then she told me who it was. I was, oh, yeah, I knew it.
I'm terrible. My husband calls me Dory for a very good reason. Yeah. Jane got a look. She said, oh, yay me, I got it, Dark Tower.
Good job.
It was a fantastic book. And I got to tell you, it's one of the few movie adaptations that I absolutely loved.
Yeah.
I really did. It was fantastic. Right, give us your next character, Leanna.
Okay, so where are we? Hang on. Oh, here's one. This character, he is a professor of Italian, how do I put it without giving the question away, or giving the answer away, I should say, Italian literature. And he is very dark, but in the sense that, as not as in skin color or anything like that, but his persona,
right,
because of things that have happened in his past. He is fixated on a student who just happens to resemble the woman in one of the Italian literature's story.
Oh,
and I'll give you a hint. In the story, her name is Beatrice. In the Italian literature's story, her name is Beatrice.
It's not something I've read. I am racking my brains. T's just joined us, so maybe T knows. Hello, T.
Hi.
Oh, God, that sounds intriguing.
So he's on a lot of boards in universities, museums, that sort of thing. The student is very quiet, very withdrawn in herself. She doesn't have any confidence. He brings that confidence out in her, but he can overpower her in that sense as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And here's another hint. There is a fire burning between them and within the Italian literature. It's
my brain's gone. I have no clue. Anybody who's watching, if you think you know which character Leanna's talking about, put it in the comments. Because I am completely.
So he is a professor and she is a student.
Okay.
And it surrounds Italian literature. Yeah.
Very interesting. T says, grand evening. Grand evening to you, T. Thank you very much, Charlie. My mind is a blank. I don't think I've read it. So we'll see if any of our viewers have read it. Okay. While they've got their thinking caps on, I'm going to do my last one. Okay. Now, this character, it's classic romantic literature.
Okay.
So he's very proper, very dapper, very
dapper,
handsome, very strong-minded. But he's quite unusual because he actually, I mean, this character is always getting, women trying to gain attention because especially, they want the upper status.
Right, yeah.
Class status. However, unusually, especially for that time period, he wants and is attracted to the female character who is strong-minded. She's educated. She knows her own mind. She's not going to just bow down to and marry any old person. So he has a bit of, he has to really sort of like
work for it.
Exactly.
Okay.
He is one of the most famous classic romantic literature characters.
And there's a time period. Is it historical?
Yes, it's historical. And
I think I know.
And I think, to give a clue, I think Bridget Jones's Diary is the modern day version. To me, I can see. Do you know what I mean? That dynamic,
I think.
I
think I know.
Yeah. She's got it. Look.
No, I was wrong. I was way off then. I thought of Gone with the Wind.
Oh, yeah, but it's time. Yeah, I can understand that. Yeah, Josephine says Prejudice. And Mr. Darcy, absolutely. Do you know what? I absolutely love Pride and Prejudice, and it's unusual for me because I don't normally read like period dramas.
Mm-hmm.
Josephine says Nick says not him.
He's a hoot. He cracks me up. He really does.
But Mr. Darcy, I mean, oh my gosh, I think everybody sort of swooned over Mr. Darcy.
Darcy,
Pride and Prejudice, and I have to say, I'm sorry, my dogs are going nuts barking at somebody, and I have no clue who. But hands up, everybody who has been watching or reading Bridgerton.
Now, I've got to tell you a funny story. My daughter and I I had a hospital appointment a couple of weeks ago, and the doctor that I was seeing was running 2.5 hours late, and we're sitting it was a long day. So we're sitting in the reception area, and my daughter said, "Mum, have you been watching anything on Netflix?" And I said, "Oh, Keziah's got me onto this stupid show." I said, the only good thing about it, I said, mind you, I've only watched one episode. I said, but the main character, dude, I said, he is hot as. So and she goes, yeah, because I've been watching this show called Bridgerton. And I was, oh yeah, that's it. That's what we've been watching. Well, the two receptionists popped their head around the corner and was like, oh my God, that show is amazing. Oh, I've watched it 5 times, blah, blah, blah. So we end up sitting there for an hour talking about Bridgerton. So I said, you know what, I'm going to have to go home now and finish watching the rest of it, because they were telling me stuff that has happened because I hadn't been that far into it. And Brittany, my daughter, she said, Mum, God, it's right up your alley. You're going to love it. And sure enough, I ended up binge watching the whole lot. And then the last episode, I was like, what? They can't end like that? Where's the rest of it? And now I've got to wait again, always waiting for the next season. So, yeah, no, it was a good show.
I know. Do you know, I didn't even know it was actually a TV adaptation of a book.
I didn't know it was a book either. Yeah.
No, one of my readers messaged me and she's like, I've just bought your book. I can't wait to read it, but I've got to finish Bridgerton first because I'm reading that. And I was like, Bridgerton's a book?
Yeah. I know, I was blown away as well. Yeah.
But I absolutely love it. But again, it goes to the point we were saying earlier. It's not only got that romance, but it's also got quite a nice bit of humour in there.
Exactly. Yes, very.
Which makes a big difference.
It does.
I absolutely fell in love with Bridget Jones's Diary.
I haven't watched them.
Oh my God!
I'm terrible.
Have you been under a stone?
Like I said, I'd rather read. There's just, I mean, even I started watching Clarice. The Silence of the Lambs movie. On Netflix, they've done Clarice, like her story after catching Buffalo Bill.
Yeah.
And I've watched 2 episodes and I was hooked. So, and again, have to wait for the 3rd season. So this is why I don't watch TV. This is why I've got to wait. Well, I'm not a patient person.
The Bridget Jones Diary is actually a book series that the movies were stuff of. So you definitely have to check out the books. Honestly, I'm a huge Bridget Jones's fan.
I'm writing down all these books that we've been talking about.
Lists and lists everywhere. It's crazy. Yeah. So for the viewers that are watching, who else is a massive Bridget Jones's fan? And please let me know, because as I said, I am releasing a comedy book for women as well. So that'd be handy for me to know, because then you can all be my test readers when it's ready.
When are you reading? When are you reading it? When are you finished writing it?
Oh my God. Well, I have started. However, my path has taken a bit of a turn, Leanna, because I got asked to write a short story for a fantasy paranormal anthology last year, which I did. Unfortunately, the anthology didn't go ahead because the publishing house went bust.
Oh no!
I know, right? So I got my short story back, which is for kids. Well, I say kids. The adults who have read my story love it and want more. So I'm taking that time. But it inspired me. I thought, well, as I'm getting my story back and my rights back, I might as well write a whole series.
Yeah.
So I think I'm on book 4 right now of this short story series. And I feel all giddy. I'm actually so super excited about this.
That's good. No, it's really good.
I'm hoping to do all my own illustrations.
Oh.
And I've been shopping, and I've bought, because my character, she's a Christmas spirit. So imagine Tinkerbell, but a Christmas version and a bit edgier. Okay.
I like it.
Me too. So I've actually bought stuff to look like her. So so I can actually dress up as a character or get my daughter to do it. I might have to blackmail her. So I can actually do all my own illustrations. And then when the pandemic all eases off and stuff, I can actually hire somebody to be Jinx at book signings and stuff.
Oh, awesome. Awesome.
Would you like to see the wig I've got?
Yeah, sure.
It's green. Right. Listen, I'm so excited. I thought I've got to show Leanna this. Right. I have no clue how to put on a wig, but I'm going to try. Although I haven't brushed it out yet. Okay, right, hang on. Let's see. But it's going to be like, I think fans of Harry Potter will quite like it. Right, hang on. Oh my God, this is going to be funny. Right, hang on.
Oh, wow.
My blonde hair is
green.
Hang on. I think it needs some brushing out, I've got to tell you.
It does. Cool.
I'm not sure
my skin color.
Yeah, I'm not sure my skin tone goes well with the. I can't even see what I'm doing here. Oh. So this is going to be Jinx's hair.
Cool. Jinx. Love the name.
Jinx, the little Christmas spirit. So I've ordered her dress, her little gold slippers, her little satchel that she keeps her little dust in.
Sweet.
I've got the whole shenanigans going on, so I'm super excited. But once I finish that series, which I'm hoping to get out in October in time for Christmas, then I'm going to get stuck in to writing Domestic Goddess Dominatrix. And I've got a really cool idea for the book cover as well. So my book cover, it's going to be one woman, and on one side of the book, she's going to be like hair in rollers or scrunched up all over.
Oh, awesome.
T-shirts, pants, slippers, rolling pin. And on the other side, she's going to be like domination queen.
Love it. Yeah. Love it. Awesome. So I love it.
I am super excited. So I can't wait to get that out and get it all out there. I can't.
Are you doing any book signings for 2023 for Rare?
I honestly don't know.
Yeah. I think because I'm a PA for JF Lowe, and we've been talking about going to the book signings. It's Paris, London, Rome, and Edinburgh, I think. Yeah. And I think there's one in Melbourne as well. And I've never left Australia before, so it's going to be, like a bull in a china shop. Look out now. Oh I'm a typical tourist.
I honestly don't know what I'm going to do. It's so tough at the moment, especially with like Abby's schooling still and everything else. She's stuck at home. You know, I've got 2 dogs. My husband, has got quite a full-on job, and that's an understatement. So I honestly don't know. I just want to get out and about more. I want to meet and engage.
I miss book signings. I do this COVID it's got a lot to answer for. It's stuffed up so many, lives, definitely.
Yeah.
But I do look forward to the day when we can go back to book signings again and we can meet other readers and authors, and it's good. It'll be good.
Well, hopefully in the meantime we'll still be able to keep doing live events like this.
Exactly.
And
so nobody guessed who I was?
No, I don't think so. Let me have a look. Okay. T says wig. She likes it. Wig Jubilee. I love it. Stephanie says, can't wait to see the whole package head to toe. Nor me. I feel like Christmas, I've got to tell you, I'm so excited about it. I think I'm more excited because it's one of those stories that older children will be able to read independently, but also parents are going to love reading to their kids. I think that's why I'm so super excited. T says mother superhero. Like
that.
Josephine says, wow, brilliant idea, Leanna.
What was the idea?
About the book signings and everything.
Oh, yes.
T is all up for going to Paris. I love Paris. I've been many times.
I have Rome. I have a uncle who's Italian. He's from Milan, and I've always wanted to go to Italy. And and if there's an opportunity for me to go as Jen's PA, I'm going to jump at the chance. I've always wanted to go for a ride in a gondola. But just the fact that I'm going to a book signing overseas and I get to meet other readers and other authors, it's just it's a dream come true. Hopefully if it all goes ahead.
Oh, I hope it does, because I definitely want to see all your photographs, and if I could sneak in your suitcase, I would. Leanna will be jet setting.
I'll be that typical tourist taking photos of everything.
Stephanie's having the same thought. Look, she says, can I fit in your suitcase? You'll have to fight me for it, Stephanie.
You'll have to fight my kids. Like even Jazz said, Mum, can I come to America with you? And I was like, baby, I don't even know if we're going to be going there yet. Like I said, this is something that's happening in the future that it may not go ahead. I can't. This is just, so don't get your hopes up. I shouldn't even be getting my hopes up. We may not even go.
Yeah.
And she said, I've always wanted to go to America. And I said, yeah, stand in line. Me too. I want to go, I would love to go to Scotland. I want to go to Alaska. I want to go all the places where it's cold. I love cold. And being here in Australia, like, hell on earth.
You like every day.
I'm so over it.
He says, I love you guys.
Oh, thank you, T.
Darling. And T's all up for book signings as well. Absolutely. Yeah. Stephanie says she will have so many. Let's pack Josephine too.
Yeah.
Can I help you with your bags? Well, you might need 5 assistants.
I said to Kazara, actually, I said, I'm going to bring an empty suitcase to bring back all the books that I'm going to be collecting while I'm over there. She said, just buy one while you're there, Mum. And I was like, oh, good thinking, 99. I should do that. So I need to start saving up for, baggage, because I know I'm going to go over the baggage limit.
Oh, God, fantastic. Right, well,
if I can bring back a few authors with me, that'd be even better.
Suitcases back. Right, no one guessed your character, so you're going to have to.
All right. Okay, so let me see. Where was I? Let me just see. Where did I write it?
Okay, while you're looking,
what
their favourites are as well.
What is that?
I said people need to tell us who their favourite characters are as well.
We'd love to hear it.
We want to know.
Love to hear it.
Go on, and who is it?
All right, so the bed to you. Did we give the answer to that one? We didn't give the answer to that one, did we? No, we didn't. Well, the bed to you one that I was talking. Oh no, not bed to you. See, the lights are on, but nobody's home. Fair dinkum. It was. It was Gabriel's Inferno by Sylvain Reynard.
Oh.
Yeah. So Dante's all about Dante's Inferno, the Italian literature.
I didn't get that one, idiot.
And Julia was Gabriel's Beatrice, Dante's Beatrice.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had a complete brain freeze with that one. I
probably didn't explain it better either. So
no, you did. Now you're talking talking about. It makes perfect bloody sense. For some reason, do you know what I was thinking of?
What?
The Da Vinci Code. The moment you mentioned Italian, straight away I'm thinking Da Vinci Code,
because they were talking about Dante's Inferno in the Da Vinci Code. So
and that's one of the most recent books I've read of that type of genre. So
I read the Da Vinci Code. Absolutely loved it. It was mind blowing. Loved it. It.
Yeah. Book 2, I think, was my favorite.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I haven't read that one yet. But I have seen all the movies. So I can say that. Much to Keziah's horror. She's Keziah hates things like that. I've got to watch things like that when she's not around. She gets very nervous about end of the world type things and some of the best is at end of the world type stuff.
I know,
but
right?
Anyway, yeah.
Because she's quite sensitive to sounds and everything else. The music is probably likely to put her on edge because it's so dramatic.
It is so dramatic. That's exactly what she said. The music freaks her out. She does not like the music at all whatsoever. So I've got to watch it when she's either in bed, or not here, which she's always here. But usually when she goes to bed, I've got to watch all the things that I like, when she's asleep. So.
Do you know, it's funny because not only was I really, I've always been into the horror books. As I said, Stephen James Herbert.
Stephen King. Love Stephen King.
Fantastic, absolutely fantastic. But I also, before my husband and I got together, I was always watching horror movies. I loved the horror movies. I couldn't get them. You name it, I've probably watched it.
Yeah.
However, my husband is not a big fan of horror movies. So he would find it more fun to listen to the music. And as the music deepened and it got, something was going to happen.
Yeah, really intense.
He would be watching me and not the movie. And the moment it came to that climatic big crescendo of the music, he would grab my leg or my arm. Oh my God. The amount of times.
That's where you're killing me fire.
Honestly, I would nearly have a bloody heart attack. Because I'd be like that, glued to the TV, and then he's grabbing you. I would shit myself. I got to tell you.
You should have seen when we lived out on the property, and because we couldn't watch TV, we lived on DVD or videos back in the day. We got The Exorcist to watch, and I refused to watch it at night. We watched it during the day. It was my sister, my mum, and myself. My stepdad and his boss were having a cup of coffee sitting at the table, and it was getting to the part where her head was flying around, 180 degrees or whatever it was, and the music was building up, and as the music was building up, I'm getting closer and closer to the edge of my seat, and then next thing we know, there's this loud, massive boom on top of our tin roof. Those bastards went outside and grabbed chains and threw them on top of the roof, and it was right at the part where her head started flinging around. Well, I ran in that direction. My mum ran in that direction. My sister ran in that direction. And to this very day, I haven't seen the end of that movie. Never again.
I'm not surprised. That's evil.
Oh, they were horrible. Absolutely horrible. My mum threatened divorce.
Oh my
God. My stepdad's boss was just like laying on the floor laughing, holding his stomach laughing. If I could have, I would have kicked him. But I don't think I slept a wink. My sister ended up sleeping with me for ages after that because she was too afraid to go to sleep.
I'm not surprised. Oh my God. That is evil. That is.
It was horrible. Yeah, absolutely horrible. I've never seen the end of that movie and never will.
No, I've got to be honest, there's a couple of movies that I've watched that have literally, I've not been able to sleep well to. That have really sort of scared me.
Yeah.
It's like, The Blair Witch.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Lord, shit. I'm not knocking anybody's taste here at all. but I was bored out of my brain. And I don't know whether that's because I'm used to things like, horror books like, Stephen King and stuff. But yeah, I was like, I don't know what all the fuss is about. It's boring.
Yeah. I just recently bought The Stand on the Stephen King's The Stand has been re-released on books because they've done a remake of it on Amazon Prime. With what's his name? The guy from True Blood who played Eric. I'm hopeless with names. So yeah, anyway, they re-released the book, so I picked the book up. It's for $16. Because usually they're around $30-$35, but I was able to get this for $16, and I was like, bargain.
That is amazing, isn't it? We've got comments, so I'm going to quickly put them on. Let's have a look. Okay. T says she is going to write a book about Mr. Green.
Awesome.
Is that Mr. Green instead of Mr. Grey? Josephine says, me too, horror, paranormal rather than slash and cut, though. Yeah. Some books and movies, I'm like, no.
Oh, some of the movies are very gory. I mean, I like, if I'm going to watch a horror movie, I prefer ones that are based on true story, like supernatural type thing. There was one that I watched a couple of months ago, and Eric Bana is in it, and it's based on a true story. It's called Deliver Us from Evil, and it was about like possession and things like that. And he was a police officer, and it turned out after what happened, the real dude who plays the real I can't remember Eric's character, but he's now a paranormal investigator. He quit being a police officer and he's now a paranormal investigator. So things like that I quite like. I like to watch things that are based on fact.
Yeah, me
but once again, I've got to watch them on my own, and because I'm a big scaredy cat, I won't watch them at night. I go like, oh God. Yeah. So things like that.
Stephanie says, I was horror lover too. My husband is not. We should do a horror. Oh,
that would be good. Definitely.
Very cool. Yeah. Stephanie says, horror movie chat one day. Definitely. I'm all up for that. We'll definitely
for sure.
Especially as it's so much fun. Josephine says, no, it wasn't for me either. There was no suspense. I just couldn't get into it at all.
Yeah.
Stephen, The Stand again. I love Stephen King books.
I love it.
Although movies, I got to say the older movies, not all of them were done that fantastic.
No, they weren't. They were very B grade, weren't they?
Yeah, like Tommyknockers. I loved the book Tommyknockers.
Loved the book Tommyknockers, but the movie was horrible.
I watched it. I was like, what the hell? It was so disappointing because in my head, from reading the book, especially with the relationship aspect of it, and not only romantic, but the relationship she had with the other people in their town.
It
was such a
it fell flat. It did. It fell very flat.
And the special effects, because in my head, the special effects were epic.
Exactly, and see that's the thing. That's why reading a book, I feel, is way better, because you've got the words in your imagining the situations and the as it's unfolding. But when you see it on the big screen, it's like, but that's not how it looked in my head, and it's. I think you do set yourself up for a fall. As good as what some of these books are great being made into movies, you go in there with a pre-mindset that, okay, this is how it's in my head. But when you see it on the big screen and it's nothing like what's in your head, it can be very disappointing. Yeah.
I agree with you. Now, I've got to mention a very special book because, oh my God, it was so good. The Fault in Our Stars.
Oh, Dan, what's his name? I was going to say Dan Green. It's not Dan Green, is it?
Don't ask me. This is Dory. Leanna? Dory. I can't remember who wrote The Fault in Our Stars.
Can someone tell us who wrote it?
Somebody's got to know. The Fault in Our Stars. Oh my God! Right, the book was amazing. I cried like a freaking baby when I read the book.
I love books that make you cry.
I loved.
Such a good release.
Do you know what? And I think I blubbed at the book for two reasons. One, as a romance lover, and two, I blubbed, literally cried like a baby because I'm a mother as well. So I read that book from two different perspectives, you know, because I loved the love story part of it, the connection, the what they had in common, the need, the support.
Yeah.
And from a mother's perspective, it's like a mother's worst nightmare seeing
it
die.
Yeah.
Right? Well, I thought I would be able to cope watching the movie after reading the book. I went with my daughter Abby, as some of you know. It got us so emotionally turned in knots, even though we'd read the book. Watching the movie, I swear to God, we cried and blubbed in the movie theatre. We weren't the only ones.
Yeah.
But I was so emotional. I was so choked. Abby and I couldn't even talk. I'm like,
I love books like that. Leah Sherrill has a MC series called The Wounded Souls, and one of the main characters, he was just a side character, but he ended up being the love of all of us who follow her and who've read the stories, the love of our lives. His name is Da, and I'm sorry, Leah, I'm going to throw you under the bus, but she killed him off. And there was a mutiny. Like, we just, we were like, what did you do? To this day, we've never let it live her down. But it is amazing how some side characters who, you know, you just think, oh, yeah, you know, whatever, you're funny. But there was a resonance there with him and how he was with Shiloh, who is the daughter of one of the MC guys. She's like the princess. But books like that rip your heart out, and like the emotional turmoil with it. And K.E. Osborne has another series called Shattered Hearts, and that series, like, I was done. I texted her and I said, "You're killing me! Oh my God, how can you do that to me?" But absolutely, when authors can do that to a reader, that is a damn good author, and I will follow them till the cows come home. Like, seriously, if they can rip your heart out, make you cry, and then wind the story up so that there's still the story, and then the happily ever after at the ending. Oh my God, yeah, amazing. I love authors who can write like that.
That is so cool. That is so cool. Yeah. It's amazing. Do you know what? It's just as emotional, I think, as we as writers as well. One of my side characters, she's funny as hell. Do you know what? She actually reminds me a bit of you, actually, because she's quite a sassy. She's quite sassy. She's got a really good sense of humor, but she's also a fighter because she's a cancer survivor. Unfortunately, she, you know, her children didn't survive what's happened to Earth. But, you know, she's still got her husband. They're reunited and everything else. I'm not going to say what, you know, I don't want to ruin it for everybody. I was emotional as I was writing her and her husband's story, because there was highs and major lows. We just spoke about. And I found it really emotional writing about it, but I wasn't expecting the response that I was getting from readers, because they were characters. And you don't realize that readers can get so attached to your side characters.
Definitely. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
I never understood that dynamic, really, because I don't think I've read a book where I got so invested into a side character like you have. So that was quite an eye-opener for me. I've got to tell you, I really do. Let me just pop this up, because Stephanie has got some comments here. Oh, there we go. Stephanie says, I don't think Stephen King cares for the way the movies from his books are made.
I actually heard that. There was an article that I read, and he was quite upset about how some of the I think Tommyknockers was one of them.
Yeah. The Mist.
And I think the Mist, and I think that's why he had more of an input into Misery.
Misery.
When they made Misery, that book, and even the movie. I think if there was a book and a movie that was so on par with each other, it was Misery. They really did it justice, I thought.
Also, The Green Mile.
Oh, The Green Mile, yes.
Oh my God,
absolutely. The
casting for that movie was spot on to the character. John,
definitely,
Coffey, especially John Coffey.
Yeah.
I mean, that actor is fantastic. He played John Coffey to perfection.
He did.
I can't remember what was the character name of the bad guy. What was his name? Oh my God!
I know who you're talking about again.
Moonfire.
Yes, yeah.
But Tom Hanks played his part. Everyone.
Isn't he wonderful? I mean, like, for the longest time, I only ever saw him as Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
But when he did The Green Mile, that was like, oh yeah, for sure. He was not Forrest Gump at all whatsoever. I did not see Forrest Gump in him at all whatsoever in that movie. Yeah.
He was fantastic. He nailed perfection.
Absolutely.
T says, I love her. It's not in my head. Oh, bless her. Stephanie says,
John Green. I knew it was a Green.
I don't know. Like, completely out of my head. Yeah.
I know. Yeah.
Josephine says John Green too. And Josephine says, yes, those two are fantastic. Both fantastic movies. And I really do hope that some of his earlier movie adaptations are redone.
Yeah.
I really do,
absolutely.
There were so many that I was looking forward to.
They're classics now in their own right for that time. You know, there was not the technology that we have today back then. So I guess they could only do what they could with what they had at the time. And any movie buff lover would say, yep, yeah, they're classic, like Christine, for instance, you know.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you can't beat the book, you know.
No,
we all have our own imaginations, and as we read it the way we see it, and not everybody will read the same book the way that you do, and have a completely different. I mean, I've had so many people who say, you know, I can't stand 50 Shades of Grey. It was the worst book ever written. Then I've had people say, oh my God, it's the best book I've ever read. You know, it just comes down to a matter of opinion and what you see. So as much as the movies are great, and I do love the movies, and there was a lot of things that were left out in those movies, at the end of the day, you cannot beat the books, any book, regardless, you know.
No, I completely 100% agree with you. I have had so much fun today with you.
Thank you.
Can you believe we've been going for like an hour and a half plus? It's gone like that. Right? Doesn't feel like it.
Oh my gosh, it doesn't feel like it at all. When you start talking about books, I can talk to my head off.
I know, but I think we're going to have to do this on a regular occasion, like maybe once a month. We'll pick.
We should definitely, and we should do the horror one next time.
Yes, let's do that. Okay, so hands up, like give me a little wave if you'd like to do this on a regular basis. We can do once a month. Once a month, and we'll do horror next time because we all love a bit of good horror, but something to get the pulse going. So we'll talk about all the different horror genres. And I've got to say, as an author, I never realized how many different subgenres there are of romance and horror and thrillers. My gosh.
I know. Until I started getting back into reading again, the only authors I thought ever existed was Jackie Collins, Barbara Taylor Bradford, Stephen King, Danielle Steele. I knew nothing about the indie community, and I love the indie community. I've found so many authors and books that I just love and reread on a daily basis. I've made so many friends. It's amazing. I just absolutely love it.
It is. It's mind-blowing. Before I forget, our very good friend Autumn Bardot has got a new book release coming this year, really soon. So excited. And it's Goddesses Inc. I can't tell you how excited I am to read this because
I'm writing this down so I don't forget.
Okay, so Goddesses Inc.
Yeah.
You can see her book cover on a Goodreads profile is beautiful.
Okay.
And it's
who's the author?
Autumn Bardot.
Autumn Bardot. Okay, cool. I will look at and I'll share the links on my page.
Oh, you've got to check it. Honestly, I'm so super excited. So all that's up there at the moment is the book cover, but it's about 4 goddesses who are basically made human. They're not relevant anymore as goddesses. So from a lesson, they're literally turned into humans in modern day times, and they're going from goddesses to humans, and it's like, what the honestly, it's good. I'm so excited. So if anybody who's watching if you are an active Goodreads or Amazon reviewer, if you read a book and you review it, comment, let me know, and I can send you the form to apply to be an advanced reader. Pick some winners. Now, neither of us had that much success with our book crushes, Leanna.
No, we didn't, did we?
We didn't, and we can't keep picking Josephine because she's one of the bloody gifted. So Josephine, I love you, but you don't count, I'm afraid. I'm sorry. So what we'll do is we'll keep the video competition going for a week to give plenty of people to share. So if you share our session today, you will get put into a draw to win this bookmark and 2
ebooks,
different ebooks. So we're going to have 3 winners. So share with all your friends and stuff, and you could win either a bookmark or a fantastic ebook from Josephine Wrightson, who writes paranormal romance and dark fantasy. Hot. Leanna, you're an absolute saint. Thank you, darling, for joining me today.
No, thank you. Anytime.
It's been so much fun. Please check out Leanna's blog, which is Slam Dunks Luscious Reads. She is all over social media, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, you name it, she's there. So please stalk both.
Not Twitter. Follow. Not Twitter. I don't do Twitter.
Do you know what? I do Twitter, but not very well because it's too bloody fast paced for me.
I think between Instagram, Facebook, between Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Goodreads, I can't do any more. I'm only one person.
Oh, yeah. She's stuck.
Oh, hello. Can you see me? We done?
Oh, no. I blipped.
You're blipped.
I'm blipped. It's difficult trying to catch up with all of it, but make sure you follow Leanna on all platforms she's on. Make sure you follow me and click like on my author page to see when I go live, because you can get notified. Click subscribe on my YouTube channel, because you can literally watch all the live sessions on there. They're all saved onto YouTube. And please follow me on Goodreads as well, because if you're on Goodreads, follow me as well. All my events and everything are on there. And we love to connect with all of you, don't we, Leanna?
Definitely, absolutely. I love talking about books. Any kind of books.
Exactly. And we always have fun together. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Leanna. I love you millions.
Love you.
And
thank you. Have a good day, everyone.
Thank you, darling. And we'll catch up next time for some books.
Sounds great. I'll write a list.
Yes, do. So thank you.
No worries.
We'll see you soon. Bye, everyone.
No worries, darling. Bye.